Dream loop. It was a dream I had many times, always the same theme, though each time with a slightly different landscape, as if the background was interchangeable, but the essence remained unchanged. I was walking, at first, just normally as always. With time, my steps grew longer. First, more stride. Then a single step would carry me several meters ahead. And then it was as if I was no longer subject to gravity. I touched the ground only when I wanted to, as if to push off, to leap farther and farther. I couldn't name it. It was neither flying nor running. I felt free like a bird rising and landing wherever it pleased. There was no fear in me, only curiosity and the feeling that I was just about to reach something I had always lacked, that this was how moving through the world should feel. No boundaries, no fatigue, no gravity, only pure will and motion. I always woke up at the same moment during the longest leap. That final jump, it had something final in it, as if there was no return beyond it. Upon waking, reality felt too gray again, back to what it always was. That dream wasn't an ordinary dream. It was like a memory of a place I had been, a place I could no longer return to. I wasn't alone in the dream, though today I can't recall who that person was. I'm sure I knew them well. It wasn't a random figure. Once, I talked about it with a friend. The topic of dreams came up by chance. I asked if he had any recurring dreams. Hard to believe, but he described an almost identical one. Was it just coincidence? How common is this motif? As a dreamer, so the dream. It wasn't a dream of escape. It was a dream of remembering something familiar, but out of reach. Maybe that's why it keeps returning, not to forget, but to remind. Maybe the repetition isn't about the plot, but the feeling of freedom, of lightness, of crossing a threshold. When in a dream you become irrelevant to gravity, perhaps it's not just the body rising, maybe it's your consciousness too, lifting off from the earth, the program, the rules, everything named and known, where a step is no longer just a step, but a choice, an act of will. Perhaps there you are closer to a true kind of movement, one we don't know in waking life. The person beside you was no accident. You felt you knew them. They were or are important. But consciousness in dreams sometimes retains only an emotional trace, a contour of a face that blurs like fog upon waking. That someone may have been a guide, a shadow of shared experience, a forgotten closeness. Not being able to recall them doesn't mean they were a stranger. Perhaps it's about the feeling, about being understood, not alone, that someone else had nearly the same dream. Might not be a coincidence. There are dreams that seem universal, like shared memories, as if a deeper layer of consciousness exists, one we sometimes access when the I grows quiet, and only what lies beyond individuality remains. A dream doesn't have to tell you who you are, but may remind you of who you could have been, or who you are still becoming.